I'm trying to get OBS to work. Alright, there we go. Alright. So, I mean, I'm gonna do things a little differently this time. Cause
Okay.
usually, like, I have, like, a set plan, but, like, if you want to, like, work on something, I'm more than happy to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's up to you, honestly.
Whatever you have in mind, I'm game.
Um, let's see. Let me see. What do I usually do? So usually what I do is like I focus on like understanding the range of your weapon, like where to go on the map and where not to go. And I like to do a lot of like scrim and VOD reviews too.
Okay.
Yeah. So like whenever your team's like scrimming or anything, just like let me know. And like I'll record it and like I'll like review it with you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the password?
2563. It's yeah. I use the same password all the time.
Okay.
Let's see. I guess okay. I guess we'll go over 5 maps this time, and then we'll work on 1v1s and see how you do there.
Okay.
Yeah, just to make it, just to give like more depth to it, you know.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Wait, we ended on the other map, right? I feel like we did.
We did not do this one.
Okay. I feel like we did. Let's see. So have you like changed up your gear at all, or are you still using the same gear?
Yeah, just kind of been going back to the Ninja Squid and just dealing with that for the most part. With just a lot of swim speed, just a few other odds and ends. But I feel like
Yeah. Well, how you liking the Ninja Squid?
it's good. You know, it definitely helps having. I think I needed to be more conscious of like having kind of escape routes
Yeah.
ready for me, but it's satisfying getting the kills where like you see the person just like blindly firing in a total opposite direction that you are.
Pretty much. That's why I just love Ninja Squid. Yeah. Removing that tracking aspect of them like finding you just helps so much in like getting the upper advantage on them. You know. Because that's how blasters mainly get their kills. Like once they get the first hit, like 90% of the time you're gonna get the second hit. You know. But in order to get that first hit, you have to like I said, you have to like surprise them. You know. Because if they know you're there and they see you, then they're gonna be prepared for you and they're gonna kill you. You know. But if they don't know you're there and they get caught off guard, then they're gonna start panicking. You know. And that's mainly why I use Ninja Squid, you know, just because of that element. So, yeah. What do we got? Surgeon? Okay, one thing to note about Surgeon is sometimes it does get a little hard with a regular blaster. But I'll show you how to, like, avoid them. Like, how to avoid that bad thing.
Is this one that sometimes you maybe lean towards going towards the range?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, I'll explain why, but, see if you can get over here. Actually, yeah. So, usually what I do in the start, like, I'll go down this right side, but I like to spread out. So if I see like 2 other people going down this right side, I'll just immediately I'll just go left, you know, and go over here. But it doesn't really matter which side you're on, honestly. But it is. I'll tell you right now, it is easier to be on the right side because there's 2 spots essentially that you can't reach from this area, and one of them is that area. You see where the mist is? I call that snipe. There's no way you're getting over there unless you or over here or something, and you're shooting over there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other area is this one over here, upper left snipe.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way you're reaching that from all the way back here in the beginning. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why typically I tell my teammates, like, you know, hey, I'm going right. Don't go right, please. You know, because if you go right, you know, yeah, snipe can like reach you, but you could still reach the side of the zone without having without worrying about a long range. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, obviously, if there is a long range here, you gotta watch out for him.
Mm-hmm.
So what I like to do is I like to go up. I like to see, you know, is there a long range? If there isn't a long range, then I start pushing up, and I start pushing on the short range if he's approaching the zone.
Mm-hmm.
However, if that guy isn't approaching, if he's not approaching and there's a long range on their snipe,
Mm-hmm.
under no circumstance do not go in this area, like at all. Because the second you pop your head out, that guy's gonna be aiming down his snipe or his long range weapon, and he's gonna like mow you down. So, what I do, so I typically go right. I look if there's any sort of long range, like either on their snipe or over here. I usually just go back here this way. I go back this way, right?
Mm-hmm.
I hide here and I start firing at the zone from here. Because typically, you know, the short range people, they're going to be going over here. You know, they're going to be shooting at zone. You know, they're going to be in this, like, a cave area thingy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I usually just stand here. But I stand here because you don't want to get killed by the snipe on their, like, snipe area, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to get killed by the long range on that left snipe. So by standing here, it essentially prevents them from getting you. But you're also playing the objective, and you're also like helping get zone. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
And so it's the same thing with this other side too. You know, by standing behind this, you're essentially just preventing the long ranges from getting to you. And that's usually what I do a lot of the time, because you can reach the entire zone from here. You know, without having to like go out of your way and like be open. So here. I should probably take Ninja Squid off, by the way, because I just realized you can't see me where I'm going.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, I'm gonna end up directing you or something.
Yeah, no. And so mid-game, what I like to do is, I actually like to stay here.
Where are you?
Right, right side. Far right under the grade, see me?
Okay.
Yeah. So, I like to stay here because a lot of times people like to go down this like left ramp area and like even down this way. So being down here, you have access to this like upper right and upper grade area. And not only that, but like if someone's trying to go from snipe, you could easily get him and even get the upper snipe. Like you see where my missed is? Oh, I missed, but like up there,
I know
right?
where you're right.
Yeah. So even from here, you could still like reasonably get him. So. Yeah, and it's the same thing with Starfish, you know, how you can't really reach that left side consistently unless you're like standing here and you're purposely like jumping, you know. Like yeah, you can reach this upper left, but it's like it's unreliable to a point where you're just better off on that right side because you can reach more people, you know what I mean? It's all about reaching more people. The more people you can reach, you should be in that spot. But if you're in a spot where you just can't reach anyone, try to avoid it, you know? There's no point going right, you know? So, so typically I like to stand on the right side in their court, because it just reaches the most areas with Blaster. And that's why for this map and like any other mode, I always try to avoid that left side because of the snipe area. So, yeah. And that's pretty much like that. So any questions on that map or anything?
No, not really.
Okay. Yeah, that one's like
not the best one for blasters.
Yeah, like I can get away with using blaster, but if I have the option to use range, I'd much rather use range instead.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of like Inkblot, you know, like yeah, you can use blaster, but I'd like another option, you know. Okay, so Moray is kind of tricky, but
Yeah.
I'll show you how I do it. How I get around this weird map. This is especially where Ninja Squid is super important. Because you're going to be swimming through mid a lot, unfortunately. There's just honestly nothing you can do about it. So it's kind of hard to see, but... Here, I'll make a path of where I go.
Okay.
So you see me on Overlook, right? Oh, I forgot to take Ninja Squid
Yeah.
off. Alright, whatever.
That's alright.
So, in the beginning of the match, I always like to go this right side. And I usually just like to stand here for like 5 or 10 seconds. And I like to call out where everyone is on the map. And based on where everyone is on the map, that's when I start to like move up. So if I notice how there's a long range on their snipe, I don't go in this area. See where I am right now? Old zone. Instead, I go back and I push from this side because. So you see me right here.
Yep.
So if I'm pushing from here, no matter what long range is on that like snipe area, they're just not gonna get you. Whereas if I pushed from this side, you know, if I was standing like here or something, that snipe could kill me. Like I'm in a like approachable range for that long range, and so it's just not beneficial for me. So just to know, if you do see a long range from Overlook, immediately just go left and go to this area here, and start pushing this area. Because the only area you have to worry about if that long range moves down is the area I'm standing in right now. And even then, I'll show you how to get around that too, right now. So I go here, I wait a little bit. If I don't see any long ranges here, I go down here, and then I go down here. And the cool thing about blasters is that you can literally shoot over the wall and just hit whoever, like, whatever person's here. And so this is mid-game. This is the area that I like to control.
Okay.
However, I don't like to move up here though, because even like weapons that have like even mild, what's the word, like a little bit more range than blasters, you know, you don't want to be pushing them because they could easily just go down here and like push you down and they could kill you, you know. So I typically only like to stay in this area. I just call this area old zone. Because even if that snipe, like that long range comes down and he's waiting here, as long as I'm back in that area, he's going to have a hard time killing me.
Yeah.
Especially with this thing here. Like, again, it's all about using the stage hazards to your advantage, you know. As long as you're using the stage hazard, that long range from there isn't going to get you. And the only thing you do have to worry about, though, is a snipe area. But what I have, like I said, I mentioned the synergy with my long range. Typically, my long range would be sitting on snipe, and she'll be calling out like, "Hey, someone's coming from Overlook. Be careful."
Okay.
And so, if someone's coming from Overlook, I like to stay here. You see where this is? Because they're gonna come straight down, and they're gonna be here, right? Meaning you have
shooting from below.
Yeah, and so like you're sitting here, you see them coming down, you should be like 1, 2, and then they're immediately dead. You know what I mean? So. Just to reiterate, you know, stay here, mid-game, stay in this area. Make sure your long range is calling out, like, saying who's on Overlook. If someone's on Overlook, just back up immediately. I'm sorry. Back up immediately, stay here, and just watch them. You know, you don't even have to push. And then if you're feeling super aggressive, this is the only map where I can honestly tell you to be super aggressive. Because there's so much range on this entire map that you kind of have to be super aggressive. So if you want to, just staying here is totally fine. Because they're gonna drop down from this area, like up there. And just, yeah, honestly, just stay in this area. But if you really wanted to, like, you could literally go to any part of this map and be aggressive if you really wanted to. Usually I don't really do that because I play like aggro mid defense, you know what I mean? So I never play super aggro, so I never like go up there. You know what I mean? So it's really up to you, like how you're feeling that day. Like, hey, you know, like should I be super aggro or what? It's all about shot calling.
Okay.
So, but if I do advise that if you are gonna play super aggro, go in with another short range weapon. That way you're not like stuck by yourself and you're not like stranded. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. So just go right, go on overlook, see if there's a long range on their snipe. Go back left and go to the left side. If there is no long range on snipe, then just go right side and start painting right. So it's pretty simple. It's all about trying to avoid long ranges with blaster because you obviously like you can't reach long ranges, you know, reliably, you know.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't be pushing them. It's not your job unless you have mid control and you know for a fact that you can't kill that person. You know. Just hold on a second.
Yep.
So you got all that pretty much.
Yeah.
Any questions on that or?
No, that one is definitely kind of. I understand it being kind of dictated by the other teams.
It's really based off of you, and your long range. As long as your long range is calling out where everyone is on the map, then you should be in that spot. You know what I mean? So if long range says like, hey, there's a guy in overlook, you should be on that spot where I told you to be and just be watching overlook. But if your long range is sitting on zone and saying, oh, hey, there's two guys on their snipe, you know, and two of them are like T-Techs or something, then you should start pushing them. You know what I mean? It's all about like avoiding the long range. But if the long range on your team says like, hey, there's a pro on their snipe, should you be pushing their snipe?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, that's if they call out that there's a long range on their snipe, you 100% should not be pushing their snipe because he can very easily just outrange you and kill you. So it's really about for Moray, it's just really about knowing where the long range is and knowing how to like play around him and making sure he doesn't outrange you, pretty much. And as for the stage hazards, the only one that I really use in that one is that like ramp that I told you about.
Yeah, that little quarter pipe thing.
It's really the only really the only stage hazard you use because you can hide behind it and like shoot around it as well. So that's just a little like tip thing there. Oh, port mackerel. Oof. Now we're getting to the stages where like I question it. My blaster pick, but I'll show you anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would be your alternative for this
range?
Range.
Yeah. Because I mean I used to be a range main, but with the new meta I switched over to blaster.
Yeah, it's like I feel like this one there's just the time it takes to get two indirects. There's like so many corners they can just pop out of and kill you a lot faster.
So this one's honestly up to you where you want to go. Because no matter what lane you go in, your opponent just has the same range when they're trying to kill you, honestly. Like if you go right, they could be hiding on this backmost like area here and just like mowing you down. If you go mid, they could be hiding on this mid bump, like looking you down. And like even if you go right, they could still be like aiming down this lane. So what I do for port mackerel instead is I like to go this left side here at the start. And I like to go this side. And as with any other like map, I throw a mist and then I essentially has like a warning shot, like, hey, don't come down this lane. Now you know I'm here, right? And if I see there's no long range coming down this lane, then I start to push up, and you see the sponge here?
Mm-hmm.
And I start to push up to this sponge, and I start to use this sponge as like protective fire. Because if there's a long range, even if there's like a long range right here, they're not
Mm-hmm.
gonna shoot you if you're behind that sponge at all. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, granted, they're gonna like do this to your sponge and like knock it down.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I don't. Even though there's a sponge here, never go on the sponge like at all. Because if they,
Okay, just stay behind it.
yeah, because if they shoot it, like try shooting the sponge right now, yeah, like it's gonna mess up your shots. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're gonna be completely open, and then the long range is gonna just mow you down. So that's why I like to go left. I like to go here, send out a warning shot. I like to go this way, paint this sponge, and then I like to go right here in this spot. This is like my my perfect spot right here. Because yeah, because a lot of long ranges like to go like here, because they can see the entire map, and then they can recover ink in this spot.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're hiding here, they're just not gonna be able to see you. So if you're hiding here, right, you can like hit this right side if someone's coming down this right side. You can push up a little bit. You see me?
Mm-hmm.
You can push up a little bit and try to get that long range that's over there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can go over here and like kill who's over going left lane, stuff like that.
Okay.
And usually what I do is I always go back to the spot, no matter what, as like my like reset point,
Yeah.
just in case, because it's just the best spot for you to avoid damage. Because if someone's coming down like this way, right,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna see them first, and you're just gonna go like this, and you're gonna kill them first. Like no matter what, as long as you're in this corner, you can reach all 4 entry points into the zone relatively easy. So, and then mid game, once you do have control, I do push up a little bit. I push up to this area. Actually, well, mid control your team as a whole. This isn't on you, but your entire team should be over here.
Mm-hmm.
And typically, I like to stand right here because you can hit this spot, you can hit this spot, and then you can hit this spot just from standing over here. And if someone's trying to come down here, you can also like hit this spot.
Mm-hmm.
But the only issue with this spot is that there's no stage object essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone's like aiming at you, you're gonna be in for a lot of trouble unless you're with your teammates. So that's why mid game, like once you have control of the zone, it's important for you and the other aggro person to be. It's like you should be standing on this bump or like right here,
Mm-hmm.
and the other aggro person should be standing right here behind this wall. Because they can reach there, they can reach this lane, they can reach this, they can reach this, and then they can reach this. But the only reason why I don't stand here is because typically, like at least from like playing in tournaments, people never go down this left side here,
Mm-hmm.
or they rarely go down this left side. Typically,
Yeah, I noticed. Usually they'll only go there if they've already tried this.
yeah, like typically they'll usually just go down this way, which is why I just hang around here. Plus, like
Okay.
you can shoot over the ledges relatively easy because you're a blaster, and that's just what blasters do. So, so yeah, so just like go left side, send out a warning shot in left lane. If you see there's no one left lane, or you see there's a short range, then push up, go up to the sponge, and then just push up to that spot and just sit there for a while.
Okay.
But for Port Mackerel, I have to tell you that it's always important to be next to a teammate at all times. Because since there's 3 entry points into the zone, if you like somehow get caught off guard and like someone starts flanking you and you're by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna be in a lot of trouble unless someone's with you or someone's watching you. Which is why like I said, you have to form this connection with your long range. Because if your long range is watching you, you're gonna watch your long range and you're gonna essentially protect each other.
Okay.
So, which that'll be like my little like homework is just like trying like you do have a long range on your team, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So that's why my like little thing is to just like try to work on that connection with that long range, like in quads, twins, or something, and like
Okay.
try to like work on call outs, be like, hey, I'm like have him be like, yeah, I'm behind you, or like I'm on the left side or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because the more space he can watch, the more he can protect you, in case you are
Mm-hmm.
getting pressured. So that's why it's super important. And I like to I emphasize this whole like this connection, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So like any questions on that on port?
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay. Do you have any?
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely some tough ones for the blasters.
Yeah. So I mean, so far Moray and Port have been really tough, but
Mm.
um, Manta and Kelp are a little bit easier.
Yeah.
I mean, so do you have any like general blaster questions or anything? Or
I'm trying to think. Lately, I feel bad lately. It's been every time I've gotten on, it's been a lot more like Rainmaker and stuff like that. So I haven't been able to really stick to
yeah.
like certain positions of the map too much.
So what I will tell you is that a lot of things that I'm telling you can also work in other modes.
Hmm.
It's just a matter of creating your own version of it. So what I tell people like at the end of like all the sessions is that like I've given you the blueprints of like what to do on
Hmm.
splat zones, and then it's just up to you as a player to like create your own, like add to that blueprint, and essentially like, hey, I want to go right this time, or I want to go left with Rainmaker. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So that's just something that like I encourage at the end of all the sessions. You know,
Hmm.
but which is why I go over splat zones because it's the most basic. It's the most basic mode. So um, if I give you the blueprint for that, you'll be fine. You know.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll do Manta. Yeah, if you have like any like questions or anything, feel free to like ask. I'll answer them.
Okay.
I pretty much like know everything about blasters. Yeah, I've been playing them for so long.
Is your team doing the Ludi season?
Yeah. So
Cool.
right now I'm on Tekadan, so I think we're Division 3, but I used to be on La Station, which was Division 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which I mean technically I still am like on La Station, but they wouldn't allow me to join their roster, so
Oh.
it's whatever. I'm not mad. So I'll show you which way I go. So, the beginning of the map, here, can you see my path over here?
Yeah.
So, I like to go down this right side here, swim up to this ramp here,
Hmm.
and then I like to swim up to this snipe area. And what I do is I usually wait here, and I wait for my long range to get here.
Hmm.
And once my long range actually gets here, then I know someone's watching me, and I immediately go straight for the zone, and start covering it, like hands down. Because the thing is, if someone's on this, it's like if someone's covering their zone and they're standing here, or they're standing here, as long as you just have to tell your long range, like, hey, watch their zone while I go for their zone, you know. Because as long as they're watching their zone, that person that's over here isn't gonna push you. Because if they push
Yeah.
you, then they have that threat of, you know, they're gonna get hit. So again, so just go from snipe, wait for your long range. Once your long range establishes position, like on the snipe area,
Hmm.
immediately just go for the zone, cover the zone.
Okay.
And then the next thing I like to do though is once you have this zone,
Hmm.
is to just stand behind this like pillar thing.
Oh, okay.
Because if they still have their zone, you know they're gonna either have, you know, two people over here on their plat. You know, they're gonna have like one person over here, you know, one person on their snipe.
Hmm.
So my best advice for this map is to just go where there's less people. You know, so if you see there's
Okay.
there's like one person on plat,
Hmm.
then just start pushing that guy on plat. But if you see like there's 2 people, don't bother going over there, because it's unreliable. That's pretty much suicide. Instead, what I like to do is I like to go here, and I like to just stand here, because even if they're on their plat like area there, or I missed it, but over there, they're still not going to get you from this point. And
Yeah.
if someone's like on their like upper left there, they're just not going to get you from that point as long as you're standing here. And even then, even if someone's standing on this point like here, you know, yeah, they can get you, but as long as you're standing here, you're completely fine, honestly. And it's just a matter of, you know, poking at the zone, and if you notice someone's up there, just back up, wait for them to drop down, and then just back up. Because it's kind of like, so remember Starfish, how if a T-Tech came from upper right, like you would fall back to court.
Yeah.
This is essentially the same thing. That's why you need to have like a path over here in left plat.
Okay.
Which is why you should have one member on your team, you know, tell them go right, paint up right path. And then, because if you see someone like trying to push you, just go back and just fire at them from here. You know what I mean? And then once you do have control, what I like to do is I like to stand here in this spot.
Oh,
See where I am? Yeah, because because it's so easy to pick off people from this spot, which is where they typically go. And if someone's pushing down here from this area, you could literally just stand here and just like fire at them. You know what I mean? So beginning game, like I said, go left, go on snipe, wait for your long range, and then push down to your zone. And then and just go to a spot where there's less people. So if there's less people on this plat, then start pushing this plat. But if there's less people on their snipe, then start pushing their snipe.
Okay.
It's really just based on, usually I do it based on how many people I see. So if I see there's like no one on their snipe, then I'll purposely push their snipe and I'll just sit here and like pick off anyone that tries to come in. But the thing is though, is you do have to avoid the long range. And even then, it's still something it's still an issue that I deal with today on this map, is avoiding the long range on these 2 areas. If you don't have control of the left flat, you know. And even then, for that's why Ninja Squids are very important. Because as long as you can Ninja Squid onto that left area, you're pretty much good to kill that long range. So, so just like any questions on that or anything?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Yeah, Manta's a tricky map because on one end, like the main objective of it is open, but as long as you use like the stage to your advantage and like go to spots where they can't reach you, you're fine, honestly. It's just like with like Muscle Forge and like Inkblot and all those other maps, like you just have to learn to avoid long range areas, you know what I mean? So like definitely don't just stay in the middle of their zone, because you're in the most open spot in the world and you're gonna die. Don't try to push left flat if you see like 3 people on it, you know, that's suicide. Just avoid long range situations, honestly, and you'll be fine. So for Kelp Dome, I do use Blaster, and I'll show you how. But I typically do use range again. But I mean, so like when I say I use range, it's not that like if I entered like a major tournament, I wouldn't use range. I would just stick with Blaster all the way. But if it's like a scrim or something, then yeah, I might go range. It's just really based on preference, but since you're using Blaster, I'll show you how to do it. Blaster, yeah. So let's see, can you get over here? I think you can, yeah. Alright, so you see me right now?
Yep.
Okay, so what I do first is I go left here. And I like to go near this box. See this box here?
Mm.
Um, Essentially this box, it just prevents, like, if a long range is pushing this balloon area,
Mm-hmm.
it just prevents them from, like, picking you off right away if they're over here. So, that's why I typically like to use this box. I like to watch these two areas first. And what I do is I pull up the map first, and I see, like, alright, is someone going this way, or if someone's not going this way, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if I do see someone going this way, then I'll stay here and I'll wait for him and pick him off. But if no one's going down this way, I like to push up to this balloon here.
Okay.
Because, I don't know if you know this, but the most, like, you see me on the balloon, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The most common entry point that people like to do is this perch area for some reason. Because they think that, you know, because it's a direct, like, entry into the zone,
Mm-hmm.
they're like, oh, hey, yo, let me just drop down from this area and just do what I want. And we're going to prevent that, so what I like to do is I like to stand by the balloon at all times.
Okay.
Because, like, you could still like, you can obviously, like, push up to their perch, but, like, once you don't see anyone or you don't, like, you kill someone, just back up to this balloon and start swimming around this balloon here. Because this balloon's actually going to save you in a lot of situations where if someone's like on this area here and they're pushing you, just fall back to this balloon and just hide behind the balloon and wait for him to come to you. Or if someone's pushing from, you see where I'm shooting?
Mm-hmm.
So if someone's pushing from there, like, hide behind the balloon here, you know, wait for them to come to you and then go for them.
Okay.
So that's why I typically like to go left, wait for the box, you know, see if anyone's there. And then I just like to push up to this balloon and just swim around this balloon, really. And that's only the beginning game, though. Once you have mid control,
Mm-hmm.
you always, always, always should be standing in this area, no matter what. See this area I'm in right now?
Oh, okay.
Because what your team should be doing is your long range should be on top here.
And they'll be the ones watching the
Yeah,
perch here.
and they're going to be watching everything, right? And if you want to switch with whatever short range you have, you can honestly switch and, like, stay here if you really wanted to. See where I am?
Mm-hmm.
You can
Yeah.
honestly switch, but as long as one short range is here and one short range is over there, as long as the long range is here, you guys are pretty much covering the entire map and, like, all entry points. So, but typically what I like to do as blasters, I just like to stay in this area, though.
Okay.
Because unlike the perch, if perch isn't an option for players, these two spots are the most common spots in the entire game to get, like, try to get back into the zone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you're watching this spot and, like, you know, just shooting it, shooting this, you know, as a blaster, you have the advantage because you can kill, like, you can see and kill them, but they can't kill you because you're in the most awkward spot for them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They can't shoot over walls like blasters, so they're gonna have a hard time trying to kill you. You know. So typically, yeah, just stay in this area. You know, do whatever. Obviously, if your team needs help, like in the back area, like if someone needs help in their street, don't go this way. So you see where I am right now?
Yeah.
Don't go that way because you're essentially exposing yourself to, like, any entry points from the opposite team.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, just go back this way and approach from this angle. It's just a lot safer than trying to go down there in case someone does sneak off a perch. You know?
Okay.
So that's why it's always important, you know, make sure, like, whatever spot you're in, obviously it's preferred that you would go to, like, their street and, like, that court.
Mm-hmm.
But if you wanted to go to, like, your street, then that's totally fine as long as the short range is in their court, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So But typically, yeah, I like to just sit in their court because it covers like the most. It covers the more like highly used entry points in Kelp Dome, which is um, those two lanes on court. And so it just that's just like what do I do? So, do you have any questions on Kelp Dome?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Um. Sorry. So we're just gonna move on to like basic 1v1s.
Okay.
Just to see like how well you do like under pressure when like you get caught off guard. You know, what you do.
Okay.
Um.
Oh god.
Yeah, and then since I'm like recording it, I'll go back and look at it and see like like what you did, like what you can do and whatnot. So
Hmm.
um, let's no, we won't play objective. Well, pretend like you are going for the zone, but don't actually cap the zone is what I usually tell them.
Okay.
Because we don't want to we want to use up as much time as possible. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So let's see, which one should we do? I'm gonna do the ones that we learned.
Okay.
Let's see. We'll do Inkblot. So you use whatever gear you would normally use, blah blah blah, and whatnot, and I'll just pretty much I'll see like what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah. So, usually I do go. Usually I do go shooter, but let's see. So what would you say is your worst like matchup per se, like worst weapon?
Um, I'm not sure to be honest. It all
You're not
just kind
sure.
of depends on the player.
Okay. I'll go blaster since it's the one I'm used to.
Okay.
Let's see here. Okay. So just play it. So first thing that I want you to do is play it like you normally would play it,
Okay.
and then I'll go over and I'll see like what you can do differently and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So play it like you would in like a normal Splat Zones map. Just don't actually cap the zone.
Okay.
So I won't tell you where I'm going, but you'll see me. There you go. So do you see where I am right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you do? What would you do in this situation if someone's on the other side here?
Uh, honestly, I'd probably try to sneak around one way or the other.
Yeah.
But should I just let my teammates handle it and hold this down?
That's the correct answer right there. So rather than you trying to
Harass
so yeah, so
citizens.
don't kill me right now. I'm showing you right now. So rather than you trying to push this guy like over here, your job shouldn't be to do that. Your job should just be watching the right side
Okay.
and having one of your other 3 teammates, on this left side, like another short range, dealing with that person.
Okay.
So I'm gonna jump back right now, and we'll do another scenario. And I just want to see what you would do.
Okay.
So now, what if someone's over here in this area? See where I am?
Mm-hmm.
What would you do in that case?
Probably first thing would be to just shoot there to paint over the ledge so I know no matter what they're staying down here somewhere.
Literally perfect.
Oh, cool.
Literally perfect. That's exactly what, yeah. You literally like read my mind. So typically, what I do is I like to stay by this box, and if I see someone drops down from here, shoot this area and just keep shooting at this area. Because first off, he's gonna be stuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Second off, he's in the worst spot right now because like try shooting at me from up there. Like, do you see how much of a disadvantage I would be at if I was a T-Tech?
Yeah.
or any just weapon in general. So
Yeah, he's pretty much either has that ramp or that step to get to
yeah, yeah,
me.
yeah. So that's perfect. Let's see, which way should I go? All right, I know. So tell me what you would do in this situation then. So if you're standing on right box and you know you can't reach me, what would you do? If I
I'd be
would,
tempted to be a little sneaky and try to hug the wall here to get close to you. And then
so
go up.
yeah, so yes, you can do that, but make sure you have. What do you make sure you have behind you?
Have some backup, have a long range
Exactly.
to
So
make my escape.
so what you should do is you should be on right box. If you see a guy on plat, have your long range move up. Move from you see where I am right now. Do exactly as you did. Shoot a path here, move up, and then start firing at that guy.
Okay.
But if your long range isn't behind you, then you're gonna be open from this back area. And if someone's shooting at the zone here, they're just gonna sneak up on you, and kill you. So you always want to make sure you're always backed up. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right, so that was good. So you got 2 out of 3 so far, or I don't know. I wasn't keeping track. So let's see. Okay, I know where to go. So right here. So what would you do in this situation if there was an opponent here?
There's a guy there.
Would you push
I
him
might
by
try
yourself? Would you push him by yourself?
To be honest, any enemy I see, I'm tempted to go after.
Yeah.
Or just stay back.
Yeah.
Probably should at least just make sure you don't
However,
push in my area.
Yeah. So what you do is you call out and you say, "Hey, there's someone on underplat. Throw a mist, stop him, and tell your long range go right. There's a guy on underplat. Have him move up and then just have him kill, essentially."
Okay.
But the best thing to do is to just keep throwing mists at him. Make sure he's not going anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. That's pretty much. I think that's all the entry points, right? 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, because there's only 5 entry points, and you pretty much covered all that. So you got all that, right? Yeah, like I said, since I'm recording it, I'll send you the VODs and you can go over everything.
Okay.
So, I mean, that was good. I think you had 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5. I don't know. I'm not keeping track.
It's just hard to resist the natural instinct. I think I gotta just get used to playing with the team is different than playing solo.
Yeah.
Rely on my teammates.
And it's something.
There.
Yeah, it's something that I've worked on for a while because in solo queue you can just kind of do whatever you want and get away with it, but in a scrim setting, there's no way you can get away with some of those things.
Yeah.
So
I still say probably 90% of my playtime is solo queue, so it's habits I gotta break.
yeah. Okay. We'll go Reef. We'll just do all these.
Okay.
So I like doing these because it kind of lets me understand your mindset and how you would do things, and trying to fix them or trying to see if they're right. You know what I mean? Rather than me just sit here and explain to you what to do. Yeah, it's good, but having you do some application is also nice. So so just play it like you would a normal Splat Zones map right now. So what would you do if you so what would you do if you see someone over here and you send out that warning shot?
I check to see if he's alone or not.
And what would you do then?
If he's alone, then I will try to slip in, get behind either the tree or the box's cover.
So so get behind the tree and start firing. So here, I'll stand. See if you can hit me from over there, from behind the tree. There you go. Literally perfect. As long as you're behind that tree, anyone who besides a blaster player, anyone who tries to aim at you is gonna have a hard time. So, which way? All right, so I'll go this way this time. And so tell me what you would do in this situation. So this is all based on you going that path in the beginning.
Okay.
Okay. So you see where I am right now? I'm on left alley. You see me?
Oh, okay, yeah.
You're also not a shot. You see me?
Yep.
Okay. So if you're standing there, you send out a warning shot, and you see me here, what would you do?
Try to get. Normally, what I do is try to get close so you can't so I'd be under your shots, and then just try to
Yeah. So
get you.
if you see someone's in their alley, rather than being here and pushing them like this, because you don't know if they're gonna go this way or this way. You have no idea. So rather than doing that, what I like to do is if I see there's someone in their alley, is I like to go back to here, to this spot,
Okay.
and kind of like wait a few seconds and like watch where he's going. And if I notice he's not there, then I immediately just push up to tree, you know. And if I know there's someone on their plat, then immediately push up to their box here. You got it?
Okay. Yeah.
Pretty simple. Just go back. If you see someone in their alley, go the back way. Don't immediately go to their tree.
I think that's a lot smarter because I think what I end up doing is a lot of times when I try to push right up against the thing that they're standing on,
Yeah.
sometimes I can get kills, but then other times if they rush me, then
Yeah,
they've
'cause the
already
thing is-
painted my escape route.
Yeah,
so
'cause the
I'm kinda,
thing is-
all or nothing here.
Yeah, you don't know where they're gonna go. They can go left. They can go right. You don't know. You know. So, all right. So I'm gonna go up here. So
Maybe I can stand on the box.
yeah. So if you're standing on that box and you see me here, what would you do?
Just try to
There you go.
get you the high shots,
And if I'm standing here and you notice me here, what would you do?
hide behind the box somewhat.
There you go.
Shoot
Keep using
there.
the box. And if you see someone shooting shots like this, right? Would you stand on the box or would you fire on the box?
I'd probably back up just because the box is getting painted when you're shooting like that.
Yeah. So try shooting from that box area right now, and I'll tell you if you're hitting me.
So this is behind the box. I'm jumping. So not really. But then if I jump on the box.
So come over here and see how much of a difference that makes. See how much of a difference that makes once you're
Oh,
standing
yeah.
on box. So before, when you weren't shooting on box, you see where my shots are right now? That's where my shots reached. But the second you were on that box and you were firing over, you reached this entire area here. Which is why I like to put emphasis on that box, because once you're on that box, you can reach this entire plat. And what people do is if someone's swimming here, right? They're going here and they see you there. If they try to swim here and you know they're here, you could just stand on that box. Try standing on that box right now and I'll stand here. There you go. Yeah. So if they try to go to bridge and you're standing on that box, they're gonna get stuck, you know. So that's why it's important to always use that box to your advantage. So this one, you're not gonna really be doing this because it's not gonna be your job. But essentially, I'm gonna be on the left side here. But you shouldn't be on left side in the beginning. You should always be on your side. But if you are on this side and you see someone over here, again, use this tree to your advantage. This tree is your best friend.
Okay.
So if you stand here and you fire there, you can kill him from there. You can kill him from there, you know. So, I mean, you did pretty good. So, you did everything I told you to. So that's pretty good. I like that. So you got the gist of it.
It was a good time on Humpback going against Urza and those guys and just doing exactly what you told me and it working out.
I love that, man.
I took the screenshot at first. I was like, oh man, I beat him. I didn't have anybody on my team, but then I looked back and I had that ice guy from FTW was on my team.
Oh wow!
I just didn't recognize him at first, but I
That's
got kills.
great. Well, there you go.
I didn't get carried, but it was just funny. It's everybody's warm-up rounds, in between that storm.
Oh my god. That's actually pretty nice. I love beating top players in solo queue. It's like the greatest thing in the world. 'Cause it's like, hey, you're welcome. All right, we'll do it in order then, because just to make your life easier. So, how much swim speed do you have on, by the way?
Um,
Because I noticed you got a lot of swim speed.
yeah, pretty much everything except obviously the Ninja Squid main, and then 3 subs are not swim speed. So 2 mains and 6 subs.
Okay. I'll talk about it like after this match when I do my thing.
Okay. This one down here.
Right. So technically, like you should be over there, but all right. So I messed up. So I should have gone left side actually. It's like we'll redo that because I'm so used to like going my right side. Yeah. Hold on. Okay. So if you're on the right side, right? Your right side.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see someone here, right, and you see someone shooting at zone and going like this, so what would you do in this case?
I'd do this just in case. Hopefully, try to catch a little bit of damage in case they're climbing this wall already. Try to like kind of shoot over, and then if I'm getting nothing there, then I figure they're not on the wall, and I'll swing around and hit the platform here.
Yeah, so try shooting like right here, like standing over here. Yeah, so try shooting like right here. And I'll tell you how far you reach. You see that? So I don't know if you can see this, like come up to their zone. You see how far you can reach there?
Yeah.
So it's always important to lock down people. So that's typically why I like to throw a mist there. Because if you throw a mist there, they're not gonna climb that up. You know?
Yeah.
They're gonna move here, and so that's why you throw a mist and just be in this area and just watch them. Because more likely than not, they're gonna move down here. And you saw how much range you had, you know, shooting over like this ledge here. Like like if you tried shooting again, yeah, there you go. You see how much range you have with that? It's insane. And actually, even when you're like jumping too, if you're standing here, like you see how much range you can reach just by standing here.
Yeah.
So
it's like past the like the line of the bunch.
Like I said, so if you see someone going left, you know, send out a mist onto the ramp area. Well, not the ramp area. They're climbing up to the wall. And then push up far left and see if they're there and try to kill them.
Okay.
All right. So, for argument's sake, right, you're on that right side, and say I'm standing here and I'm like a long range, right? What would you do in the
so on the snipe there?
Yeah. So what would you do in the situation if there's like a pro or a snipe here and they're just firing at zone?
Slow you down a little with that, and then maybe creep over here and try.
So would you try and push them from where you are, or would you try to push them from your zone?
Well, I can't reach from the zone. I can maybe stay on the bunker.
Yeah.
But that's pretty risky. Then
Well,
it leaves me just kind of wide open here.
So you pretty much said the word that I was looking for. It's really risky to fire at a long range if you're standing there. So typically, if you do see a long range, what I do is you call it out to your other long range, be like, hey, that snipe's over there. And if that long range shot calls and says, you know, hey, can you push him? Then by all means, yeah, then go right, go here, and then start firing at the snipe. You know what I mean? But I don't know if you can see my snipe. So try shooting at my snipe from that area that you were in right now. No, not that one. The far left one. Where there's sponges.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just so I can show you like the amount of range that you have. Okay. So do you see the map right now? Or actually, you can come up here, right? I think you can.
No, they don't. There.
Oh, that
I
sucks.
can come up like
You
across
can,
the
yeah, you can go to the
bridge
bunker. So you see how much you can reach from here? I see all this like ink here.
Yeah.
So that's why it's super important. If your long range like says like, hey, can you push that guy? Then by all means, you know, go down this way, go here, and then start firing. Because once you get that first shot on them, they're gonna be stuck and they're gonna be weak, and then you can just finish them off right away. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, I got another way. So, pretend like you're on that right side again, right? Oh, it's like 18 seconds. Alright, I'll wait till it resets. But I'm gonna go down mid, and I want to see. But what you did so far was pretty good.
Okay.
If you see a long range, never push from zone, always push from the right. And if you're pushing right and you see someone on right, throw a mist onto the when they climb up to the wall. That way they're either going to go through trench, or they're going to go on the right side and you're going to be watching that. They're going to drop down, and you're just going to immediately kill them. So we'll do that again, and I'll try to go mid this time.
Okay.
Just to show you. But yeah, I mean, you're doing pretty good.
Good. Thanks.
Literally, it's all about knowing where you are in the map and knowing where your team is, and never like, don't try to be a hero. You know, no pun intended on the blaster, but don't try to be a hero. And just don't try to go for situations where you know you can't reach it. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm a T-Tech, blah, blah, blah. I'm over here, firing at zone. Blocked off, I go over here. Right?
Bam. Yep.
And then you just fire at me, and then pretty much dead. So, you got the gist of that. And then, you know, if you're playing, right, and your long range says, you know, hey, there's a guy on there, there's a pro on their snipe, can someone get him? Right?
And then I'd pull up and...
There you go. That's literally perfect. Okay, so in the beginning, like I said, it's on the right side, right? If you see someone on, like, in the mid here, right, and you see their painting zone, right, how would you approach them from that right side?
Depending on how far up they are, I might try to, like, do something like this, or I would just drop down the trench, and in case they back up, I try to go across the bridge. I'm hitting them from behind.
So, yeah, so you're half right there. You said it. The trench, there's two ways to do it. You can either go through trench and hit them from behind, which is what I would do. Or if you want to play objective with your team, if you're on this right side here, move up and use this box to your advantage.
Okay.
Yeah, especially if they're a shooter too. You can literally just shoot around. Like you could literally just dance around this box here. You know, it's gonna disrupt their shots. This box is your biggest friend, but yeah, no, you said it the first time though. If you do see someone shooting over there, literally drop to trench and just start firing. It's super easy. And then once you do that, like once you have control, literally stay in this trench area, and that's it. You shouldn't be moving from this area. You should be going here, you know. If you notice that there's someone back up there, yeah, paint the box, you know, jump on it, and then start jumping and start firing, you know. But literally just staying in this trench area. So, you got it. I'll do one more scenario, though.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, I got it. Okay, so I'm on far right now, right? You see where I am? So if you're, let's say you're in zone, right? And you see how I'm over here, and you see how I'm by this like box here, right? How would you approach me from there then? Like if I was over here, right? Like if I was over here and like you saw me firing shots, right? How would you approach me?
I don't know. I wouldn't have any particular path in. I would just kind of go like around here maybe. Try to flush you out that way.
So yeah. So again, you kind of said it, which is really good. What I like to do is I like to block that off. I like to go here, and I like to go here. Because typically what they're gonna do is once that mist is up there, they're gonna go to this area here and start shooting at zone. So if you're standing here, or if you're standing right here by this rock wall,
Mm-hmm.
if they try to come out, you can easily just pick them off and kill them. Yeah.
Okay.
It's all about using your miss and blocking off ways, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just like how I showed you with the beginning, you know? Block off the wall, and then they're going to go right, and then you're going to fire at them. You know? So, that's pretty much it, right? Yeah, going in from right, going in from trench, yeah. Alright, I'll go. You can cap the zone, because we've pretty much gone over everything. Rich, you're doing pretty good, by the way.
Thanks.
Yeah, like, everything that I would do, you literally are doing right now. But it's all about, obviously, control and knowing when to go in. Which is, it's something that I've worked on, it's something that I know how to do now. And not just blindly going in saying, hey, you know, I can get this guy, you know what I mean? And definitely just using your miss to your advantage. Block off one way, they're forced to go the other way, and start firing in that way.
Okay.
So, you have any questions for that, or?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, you pretty much got it, so that's really good. How much longer are you good for, by the way? Just so I know.
Not much, honestly. I think I'm actually planning on meeting up with my team at 8 o'clock.
Okay, so we'll do one more then.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you guys doing scrims or are you doing like quads?
So we have a big team, and it's usually just dependent on who shows up. But usually we quad. But lately, now that we're getting more involved in the looty stuff, we're probably gonna try to find somebody to scrim the looty maps with us.
Yeah, because if you guys scrim, I can totally like spectate it and like give you a whole round. Yeah, I don't mind. I'm pretty much free. Yeah.
I'll shoot you a message if we do, but
okay. Yeah, no, only if you do though.
Unclear at this point.
Don't be forced to like scrim just because I said so. I don't like doing that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What did we do? We did ink blot. We only did 3 maps, really? Oh my god. Alright, we'll do this one last one. We'll do starfish. We'll do this one last one.
Okay.
So are you getting like the hang of it and like and whatnot?
Yeah, I think really it is just kind of, you know, trying to just find those spots that are really advantageous and stay
like,
disciplined enough to stay there.
I'm pretty much, yeah, it's all about like sticking to a plan, you know. But with things that get dirty, that you switch up that plan, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's our biggest downside now is really a lack of a plan.
Yeah, yeah.
We're starting to get there a little better, but we still need to kind of coordinate as far as like our call outs and stuff are more just like, okay, there's a guy there, but not really like doing anything about it.
Communicating with like your team and like call outs is super important. People don't realize that. Especially like I said, like me in the long range, we have this connection to where like I'll ask her, be like, yeah, can you stay on right, please? And she'll be like, sure. Like, or she'll be like, yeah, I'm right behind you and I'll push up. You know what I mean? So having that communication is actually really key. But we're not on that right now. That's another session. So if I'm standing here, right, and I'm a T-Tech and I'm trying to cover zone, and you're on right, what would you do? How would you approach me?
Just try to hang behind the speaker.
Okay. Well, what do you think is the best way to approach from where you are? Like if I'm standing on this over here. Like, so assume...
Just try to slip on the ramp and fire up.
So that's actually a really bad thing. So, if like... Okay, so let me rephrase it. What if I was standing here, right? And someone else was standing here, and someone else was standing on their snipe? What would you do? What would you do then to approach where I am right now?
I'd probably try to take out the... But I'm guessing you want me to like come over here and go from this way?
Exactly, because you see this black box here? Even if the long range is over here, there's no way in hell they're going to reach you from that right side. And even the person down here, there's no... Well, depending if they move up a little bit, then heavy slatlings and long ranges can reach you. But typically, since I like to go right first, and I see there's someone over here, try shooting at me right now from over here. Just keep firing. Just keep firing. There you go. So you see how easy it is if you're just standing right there, just fire around that spot. Versus you like risking your life trying to go through zone and trying to go after that person. You know what I mean? Okay. So you know what to do then. So like if I'm standing here, right? And you pretty much did it before to get to that left side. You went underneath and went over to the left. That's really smart. So let's go. Let's try a different spot. Okay. So if I'm standing here, right, and you guys are pushing up, and you see me firing from here, right? What would be the best way to approach me? This one's a little bit tricky.
Would you suggest flanking around this big thing here and coming up this way?
Where are you right now?
I went around here.
Yeah. So this one's a little bit tricky. And I don't really expect you to like get this one, but it was your first answer, and it was just hide behind this boombox here.
Okay.
Because remember what I said, when we talked about the map where this boombox is your friend. If someone's over here, right? You see how much range I have shooting over this ramp from here. The only other person that can reach you, possibly, is whatever long range is over there. But even then, if you're standing here, like they're not gonna reach you. So if you see someone in this area, always move up to boombox. Never move up like here, and like try to kill them from there.
Okay.
That's pretty much suicide, And even from here, you can't even reach them. So that's why if you see someone here, and you're on the left, climb up here, go over here. Hide behind the box and start firing from there.
Okay.
You got it? Alright. Let's see. Let's try another scenario. I got it. Let's see if I can get this off enough time. Okay. So, you see him over here, right? So what would you do in this situation if you saw me over here?
I'd probably come back down so I can have the kind of height advantage here.
There you go. That's literally perfect. In fact, if someone is standing here, I'll show you the range that you can actually reach him from. Because there is a certain range that you can reach him from, and it makes you a little bit safer. So we'll do this one last one, and then you can go on with your team.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no, you got it right the first time. So if someone's on that right perch area from your side, move up to the boombox, fire on the boombox, and go after him. And if someone's on their boombox, go to your left like perch, and kill them from there rather than going through zone. I guess the number one rule of splat zones is to never go through a zone to kill someone.
Okay.
If you remember that, then you'll be set, honestly. Like as long as you just don't go through zone, you're fine. But if you take other paths to get there, then it's a lot better. So alright, so you see me, I'm firing at zone right now, and you see someone's on boombox, what would you do?
Just pick them up from here.
There you go, that's perfect. You saw how easy that was, right? Because the second you hit me, you just can't move. So
yeah.
Alright, so let's see. Right? And if I'm standing here, right, I'm firing at zone. How would you get me? There you go. So it's really all about using that box to your advantage.
Okay.
Because if that was a T-Tech, that T-Tech's motion controls are going to aim at the box and not you. And that's just, unfortunately, that's just how the game works, which kind of sucks, but it's
it like locks onto stuff?
Yeah, so like if you're firing with like a T-Tech, if there's another object like next to you, it'll kind of like mess up your aim and like aim at that object instead.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So you see, like right now, it's like it's kind of like sort of aiming at that spot, but like the way that you can tell. So this is a little like blaster advice. So do you see when you're aiming? Do you see a yellow circle somewhere?
Yeah.
So that yellow circle is pretty much telling you that you're hitting a wall. But if you aim up, do you see a yellow circle anymore?
Yeah, it's only when you're like pointing close to
Yeah.
something.
So typically that's just like my general advice for blasters. You know, if you see a yellow circle at any point, don't fire. But if you don't see a yellow circle, then just start firing. You want to avoid yellow circles. But the thing is people don't know that. So whether you want to tell people that, well, I mean, you could tell your team that, but but people typically don't know that about like that's just with any weapon. That yellow circle's there. So yeah, it's pretty helpful, honestly. Okay. So you have zone, right? And you're sitting in. Where are you sitting? If you have zone.
And I'll push up to underneath here.
There you go. So I'm gonna jump back and I'm gonna. We'll practice you being there then.
Okay.
So yeah, try to kill me. I should re-emphasize that. There you go. That's perfect. There you go. Literally just sit there. Perfect spot.
Just kind of harassed from both ends.
Yeah, and so what you could also do too is you can even stay right here. Actually, yeah, you can even stay right here, and you can even see like is someone coming down. And if you see someone's coming down from here, just go back here. And so if you know someone's gonna be up here, don't stand here. Rather stand here. That way you can actually like aim up. You know what I mean? Because if you're standing here and someone's on their snipe, like how you gonna aim for that? You know. So if you know, like, and that's why it's important for your long range to call out if there's someone on snipe. Because the second you see someone on snipe, so I'll do it again, right? So be like, so I'm gonna climb up right now and be like, your long range says essentially there's someone on snipe. What would you do? And you stay there. You go. Again, yep, there you go. There you go. So that's pretty much all you have to do, honestly.
Okay.
So I'll try another way here. All right, so I'm over here, right? And I'm firing over here. How would you approach me if I was over here?
I'll see if I can keep you on that shorter part.
So actually, one of the smart things to do is to actually go like this and go here. Because rather than, rather than push from here and them looking straight at you.
Oh, okay.
If you're
off to the side a little more.
Yeah, so if you're sitting here, right, and you fire a shot in that direction, if you go here and fire from here, you could still kill them. The only difference is that they're not going to see you, and you can see them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, and it's literally perfect. That's pretty much it. I mean, left side you don't have to worry about because that's not your job, and you shouldn't be going over there anyways. Because that's mainly for your long range. And yeah, I mean, you got it. I mean, you did pretty good. I like it.
All right. Well, awesome, man. Well, thank you again for the help and everything.
So once like I said, as usual, once I upload it to YouTube, I'll send it through the DMs and whatnot, and you can look back at it for like a reference, you know.
Cool.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. No. Okay. So the little homework that I got for this time. So are you playing with your long range or like any long range at all?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So what I want you to do, like when you're quadding, is I want you to practice teaming up and calling out with each other. So having your long range essentially having your long range call out where he is on the map, and you moving towards that direction.
Okay.
So having him be like, yeah, like I'm on the right side, or I'm on top mid, or I'm on top left. Because the more you call out, the more you're aware of where he is, and the more he can help you out if you're in trouble. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds
so
good.
I just want you to practice that. That way you get the hang of it. Because I do it a lot with my teammates, and it's really helpful. All right?
Okay. All right, man. Well, thank you.
Yeah, have fun with your team there.
Thanks.
All
Have
right.
a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.